Hello everyone, welcome to our tutorial videos. I'm Chiedo Wemine, and today we're going to be learning about chords. If you remember in our past video we learned about the various keys on the keyboard. Today we're going to be talking about chords, and chords are when you play multiple notes at the same time. So previously we learned about a scale like in the key of C. So I played each key individually, but if I were to take C, E, G, and play those together, that's what we call a chord. And that's what we used to play, and that gives harmony when we're playing. So there's different kind of chords. The first one we're going to talk about is called the major chord. A major chord, if you remember back in our previous video, we learned about steps, intervals, half steps, whole steps. So a major chord starts with, if we're in the key of C, for example, if I play the first note, C, the next note is called the third. The next one I'll play in a major triad. So there's a chord with three notes is called a triad. That's Triad. So you put your finger on the first note, and then your third is going to be four half steps from your first note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your third. And then your fifth is going to be three half steps from your third. 1, 2, 3. So that's a major chord. And the more you play, you'll just learn how to sound it out in your ear. So this is the sound of a major chord. So a minor chord is basically, you start with your first note. We're still on the key of C. Start with your first note. And then your third note is going to be three half steps away from the first note. 1, 2, 3. And then the fifth is going to be three steps from your third. 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the difference between a major chord and a minor chord is, starting from the major chord, you just bring your third down a half step, and that's a minor chord. So major, minor, and you hear the difference in that sound. Our next chord is going to be a diminished chord. A diminished chord has a distance of, starting at your first note, you count three half steps, 1, 2, 3, and then three more half steps, 1, 2, 3, and that's your fifth, the third note in the chord. So that's a diminished chord. So a diminished chord is, if you start with your minor chord that we just learned about, you just bring down your fifth a half step, and that gives you a diminished chord. So major, minor, you bring down the third, diminished, you bring down the fifth, and that's a diminished chord. So we've learned about major chords, minor chords, and diminished chords. Our next chord we're going to learn about is called an augmented chord. An augmented chord, we start with your major, and then you sharpen the fifth as an augmented chord. So when we say flatten and sharpen, flatten means you come down a half step to your left. So if I'm here and I want to flatten this, I come one half step to the left. To sharpen it, you go up one half step to the right. So that's what we mean by sharp and flat. So for an augmented chord, you sharpen your fifth. The next chord we're going to learn about is called a suspended chord. So starting from the reference of our major chord again. So there's two types of suspended chords. There's a suspended second and a suspended fourth. So starting from our major chord, to play a suspended second, you bring down the third and you play the second note in that triad. So instead of the E here, I'm playing D. That's called a sus2 because we're on the second note of the scale. And the other one is this suspended fourth. Instead of playing this, instead of playing this E as the third note, I play the fourth, and that's a suspended fourth. So suspended second, suspended fourth. So suspended chords are very good for adding. They add some kind of tension, which you now resolve when you're playing. Like we'll learn more about that later, but it's kind of resolves a kind of hanging or tension feeling when you're playing. Okay, so far we've been playing on C. So that's the scale we learned about before with all the white notes starting on C. So everything we just learned can be played in any other key. So let's try C sharp. And remember, C sharp is we go up a half step. So we're here, now we come up here. So using the same formula, remember for the major chord we said the third is always 4 half steps from the first note. So we count 4 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my third will be on F, now that I'm in C sharp. And then we count 3 half steps for the fifth. We're currently on the third, which is F. So 3 more half steps will be 1, 2, 3. So our fifth will be A flat. So C sharp, F, A flat. So this is a major chord in C sharp. And as we learned before, the minor chord, you flatten the third. So currently we're on F for the third. And like we learned before, flattening means you come down to the left 1 half step. So I'm on the F, I come down 1 half step to E. So that's the C sharp minor chord. So everything we've just learned about in C can be applied to any other key. So that's our C sharp major, C sharp minor. And for our diminished, like we learned, we just bring down, starting from the minor, we bring down the fifth. That's our C sharp diminished chord. And then our augmented chord, remember for the augmented chord, we sharpen the fifth. We know sharp means going up to the right. So, going a half step up from the fifth. So that's the pattern. It's all about the intervals and the half steps. Whatever key you're in, you just count the number of half steps to know where your fingers should be to make that chord. So I'll do one more. Let's go up one more half step to D. So based on our previous formula, our thirds will be 4 half steps from the first note, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be our third. And then our fifth will be 3 half steps from the third. Our fifth, 1, 2, 3. So this is a D major, a major chord in D. Again, the minor chord will be bringing down the third. So we're here, flatten the third. That gives us D minor. And then the diminished chord will be bringing down the fifth. We're here, and we bring this down. And that's a diminished chord. The suspended chord will be, like we said, the second suspended will be the first note, the second one, and the fifth. That will be our D suspended, second, and then fourth suspended chord in D. So now we've done we've done those chords in 3 keys. So for your homework, try to get all those chords in E flat. In the next key, just go up. Well, I'll give you this one as well. So that formula is consistent for any key on the keyboard. Just to remember those steps. Your first note, and then 4 half steps from there is your third, and then 3 half steps from the third is your fifth. So practice that before the next lesson, and just practice making those major chords and listen to how they sound. Listen to what a major chord sounds like, a minor chord sounds like, a diminished chord sounds like, and a suspended chord sounds like. And then as you begin to play those chords and get used to them, you begin to be able to discern them with your ear. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.